Hi, this is Sarah, and I am here to tell you a little bit about our brand new 3D collection. We have had one main question this week, and that question is, what's included? Now then, this is what I'm calling the tall vase quilt. Tall vase here. There is another version that is included as well, which is the short vase quilt, and that is a vase that is a little bit shorter and also a bit wider. So what is included? Everything that you need to create both of these quilts. Now, to give you a quick view on how big this thing is, 40 inches by 50 inches for this version and 40 inches by 44 inches for the shorter vase version. So what is everything? First of all, you have the center panel, and this is quilted in the hoop as you go along. We've got the applique for the vase. We've got this beautiful diamond quilting that is in the background here. We've got these absolutely gorgeous 3D flowers. These are my absolute favorite flowers of all time. I am so in love with how they turned out. Absolutely gorgeous. I think you're gonna love them too. We've got the foliage here, the leaves, and the little bits in the background. So everything that you need to make the center panel with either the tall vase here or the short vase. Next up, we've got these leaf panels, and these are also quilted in the hoop at the same time that the applique goes down. So we've got the applique, we've got the quilting. There's quilting in the hoop on the borders here. The two little narrow borders here are attached to the leaf border, and that is that panel is quilted all in one shot. So we've got the border up here as well. Then there are the diamond in a square blocks. So we've got these guys here, and the published version actually has a little tiny bit different diamond in a square going on in the corner, but those are both stitched 100% in the hoop, piecing, applique, and quilting all in one shot. And then of course we've got these flying geese borders, pieced in the quilt, pieced in the hoop, quilted, beautiful, 100% in the hoop, everything. There are two methods for constructing this quilt. First off, you can either piece together the finished units and just trim away the batting from the seam allowances, and that will have it looking exactly like this. Or we have created the second version with the shorter vase, so that it is joined together with 1/4 inch finished sashing, and that just gives us a tiny little bit of a different look. Either way, it's going to be gorgeous, and we're actually going to be making the other version with the shorter quilt on video so that you will be able to see every single step of the way. This is a quilt that we decided to put the 1 inch binding on, and it's 1 inch no hands pipe binding. Absolutely gorgeous. I originally had thought of putting another little 1 inch border around the outside, and with the quilting and everything, I came to the conclusion, you know what, that's going to be too much like hard work, but we can achieve a very similar effect by putting this really beautiful 1 inch wide binding on. That was my remote control for the camera just falling off. Don't know if you heard that. So we have a checklist, exactly what you need to do and the order that you need to do it in. We have fabric requirements and cutting, two versions, one for the tall quilt, one for the short quilt, and it's going to give you a table. So a color number, the colors that we used if you want to make the colorful version, and the fabrics if you want to make the black and white version. The second most popular question this week is, have we got a kit? No, we do not, at least not at this current time. all of the fabrics in this quilt came out of the Meaning of Life Design stash. So the flying geese are Northcott Stonehenge fabrics that we used in the Yellow Submarine quilt, the second version of Yellow Submarine. The diamond inner squares, the backgrounds for the center panel and the leaves are Motor Grunge, same colors that we used in Practical Joy. We always have odd bits and scraps of Fairy Frost around, so these leaves are Fairy Frost. These leaves are more grunge. I think these colors came from Sunshine Cove. This piece here is Michael Miller Crystals, just an odd piece. I think that came from Simply Dreaming, the little version. The flowers, the backgrounds are, I think they're grunge. One of them is Northcott Toscana from the Yellow Submarine quilt that we wanted the pink, and the Stonehenge version didn't have the pink. Let me see, and the petals are actually a print, and I really encourage you to find a gorgeous print that you love for these petals. I have literally had this fabric that I used on these petals in my stash for a decade. I fell in love with it when I found it, and I never had a reason to use it. So I have no idea what it is. I think this is a Kaffe Facet print. I actually have no idea what this one is. I don't even know if we have a piece of fabric that has selvage edge on it that tells you. So this is truly a stash quilt. So let me know what you think about that, and putting a kit together. It might not have the exact same fabrics, but maybe the same colors. The black and white version is actually created using Amanda Murphy's brand new Botanica line, the black and white, gorgeous fabrics, and we used some of her cotton shot colors, or we will be using some of her cotton shot colors for that. So I do tell you exactly which fabrics, except for these prints, because I seriously don't know what they are. Tells you exactly what you cut and what that piece that you're cutting is used for. Then we have complete illustrated instructions on how to actually go up and stitch one of these 3D flowers. You're going to make the petals first and then do the applique. And I actually really recommend that you do a little test run of one of these first. Chances are you've not created anything like this before, so when it's a 3D thing, it's not exactly a coaster because you can't put something flat on it, but we created these little circles with the 3D flowers on. They are quilted 100% in the hoop, and just a super fun thing. I saw these and it's like, they're like little lily pads floating around with the lotus flowers on the top. I see these as just gorgeous decorations that you could put on your coffee table, or put them onto a table runner going down the center of your table, or actually just create kind of like a mosaic tile thing going on the wall. We have got a square version of each of the three. They're actually the three different sizes of the flowers, and so we gave you three different sizes of these guys. So how to stitch the 3D flower, it is all illustrated, excuse my printer, but we'll show you step by step every single thing that you need to do. How to stitch the tall vase or the short vase, center panel, two different hoop sizes there. You need at least a 200 by 300 millimeter. So a couple of different sets of directions for, depending on which hoop size you've got. Leaf borders, how to do that. The flying geese borders, exactly how to do that. The diamond and the square blocks, how to stitch those. Those are actually super simple. We put those towards the end in the instructions, but if you wanted to get started with those, that's a really quick and easy success that you can get under your belt. And then there's an entire document on how to assemble a quilt, how to trim all of the pieces, and whether you want to piece them together and remove the backing from the seam allowance, or if you want to do the 1/4 inch finished sashing, both ways in here. As always, we give you a list of supplies needed. This has all of our favorite supplies and things that we use. It is pretty much exactly the same from one project to the next. When you're onto a good thing, why change it? So that is what you get in the 3D collection maxi version. We are working on a mini version. I'd hope to have it ready for you this week. Life happens and it's not, but we will be getting that out to you as soon as we can. If you purchase the maxi collection, which has these bigger flowers, you will get the mini collection as well. The mini collection can be completed in a 6 inch by 10 inch, 150 by 260 millimeter hoop, and it is essentially a 50% scaled down version of this, so it sits at right around that big. These flowers are, let's see, 5.5 diameter, 6.5 inch diameter, no, 5.5 inches, 6 inches, and 6.5 inches. The mini version, I believe they are 4.5, 5, and 5.5. They might be 4, 4.5, and 5. Actually, I think they're 4, 4.5, and 5. I can't remember exactly, but all of our mentions will be available on the website when we have them, and you will be able to complete the quilt in a 6 by 10 inch hoop. We have also been considering a super mini version of just the flowers in it, so that if you have a 5 by 7 hoop, then you can do something. You won't be making a quilt like this, but we are putting together, well, we already came up with a bunch of different ideas on how we can use just the single blooms and create something beautiful as well. So lots to come, lots of exciting stuff. I cannot wait to see how you guys use this design collection. There are so many possibilities. I had so much fun creating this, and I hope you have fun creating with it too. So if you have any more questions, reach out and ask away.